and welcome to Seagulls Social, episode 17. I am your host, Maz, and I'm joined by my lovely co-hosts, Ben and Ryan. How are we doing, chaps? We all good?
Oh, mate, buzzing.
Oh, mate, I am so happy right now. I am so happy.
And as you can tell as well, we're joined by a lovely guest. He's looking very sheepish in the corner right now. We are joined by the ever great Joel Beya of Cheeky Sport. How you doing, Joel? You all good?
Listen, mate, a quick free win of 3 points. Do you know what I mean? Can't hurt anyone.
Against your bitter rivals.
A quick Brighton slapping. You know what I mean?
Joel, all I'm going to say, I regret inviting you onto this show already. We're 30 seconds in, and I regret it already. But no, of course. But of course. Welcome to the podcast. We're really happy to have you. And yeah, let's get straight into the football then. So let's start off with you, Joel. As a Gooner, you've made it back-to-back wins for only the second time this season.
Everyone, round of applause.
Yeah, well done. How are you feeling?
I'll take it. You know what I mean? Got 20 points now. Another 20 points, and we guarantee. You know what I mean? Survival. Can't really complain. Do you know what I mean? I think. The boys, first half, a bit stale. Second half, came out, we did the business. Mopé was nowhere to be seen. Cheat. And yeah, besides that, Saka looking lovely, you know what I mean? Lovely on the ball. Got a little bit of a knock. Took him off for safety, no problemo. What can I say, man? You know, like... Routine,
I'm glad we've got him on so that we know that we're not completely deluded. So it's all right. It's a bit of a leveler for us, to be fair.
Well, no, so Joel, is the aim then just to stay in the league? Is that what you boys are trying to aim for this season?
You know, when it's the 87th minute and you're in the corner trying to run down time against Brighton, then you already know what it is. You know what I mean? It means that it's been rough times recently, and we're going to get over that hump, you know?
Yeah, that's when you know. That's when you know.
That's when you know.
Like
that's when you know.
Yeah.
You know.
No,
I'll tell you one thing though, right? If I ever get the chance to go speak to Kroenke, face to face, I want to tell him, Edu, whoever the heck is in charge of releasing the money, targeting the players, Arteta accepting. I want Lamptey, bruv. I want Lamptey at my club. I like that guy a lot. Yeah,
Lamptey's incredible, but obviously, in my opinion, I feel like Bellerin's really fell off. I don't know if it's his vegan diet or if it's he's getting into his modelling too much. I don't know what it is, but I feel like he's proper falling off. And I'll be honest with you, as much as I'd hate to see it, I think Lamptey would fit into your system really well. But a big hands off to him, please, Joel. None of that, please.
I just don't think we're aggressive enough to go for someone like that. But I think he's incredible. I think. Yeah, I would love a bit of Lamptey at Arsenal, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, you know, today I think you guys were pretty poor, if I'm honest with you. Like, first half was a bit dull. It should have been a 0-0. No, it's not. It should have been. I think we pressed better in the second half. I think first half 0-0. I would agree. Second half, I think we edged it past you, and we just about deserved the win.
Despite our pressing in the first half, obviously we were probably the better team. I still feel like you were just so comfortable the whole game. Like, it didn't really. Were you ever nervous during the game? Like, even during the first half?
No. I thought this game had 0-0 written all over it. I was saying to a friend of mine when I was watching, I thought, gosh, Saka's our only real light. And obviously, you know, Leno looked really comfortable. That's what a good goalkeeper looks like.
Doing the keepy uppies in the first half. In the box, yeah.
You know, looked comfortable. And for me, as far as I'm concerned, I thought it was going to be 0-0, but I'm really glad that Lacazette came on and did what he had to do, which was a bit of a surprise for me as well, to be fair. So how can I complain?
I thought it was going to be more than a 0-0 though, because when our lineup, were you quite surprised? We had no striker starting. We had Jahanbash starting up front. Well, what it looked like. So as Brighton fans, we thought it was going to be 5-0, 3-0. We had no hope. So
yeah, well, I don't know if you've been watching us recently, and it looks like it. And playing you guys last time, fair enough. I know that you were missing key players, but I just haven't been as confident with us recently. You know, you could beat Chelsea 3-1. It just looked to me like a very dangerous game. You know, doesn't matter how you had set up. I just thought, got to be wary with these. So I'm, and you can tell by the game. The game wasn't simple. It wasn't it wasn't. Yeah, you're saying we look comfortable, but it wasn't.
It wasn't a walk in the
easy.
park. No.
Yeah, it wasn't a walk in the park. You could have easily scored. Like if Leno hadn't made a few saves, you could have easily scored. It could have been 1-0 your way. Like anything could happen. I mean, it weren't the most shots on target, or it wasn't like shots galore. But either way, I still feel like you weren't out of it.
And just from a Brighton perspective, then.
Hello?
Ben, yeah, can you hear us, Joel? You all good?
Yeah, all good, all good,
Yep.
all good.
All good.
So Ben, obviously from a Brighton perspective, obviously let's talk about the lineup, because when we all looked at that lineup, we were like, what the hell is going on here? Like we've got no recognised striker, and we historically we've done really well against Arsenal. Like I think we haven't lost in 3 years. And, done a double against them last season. Obviously, Mopé has a great record. And then you see him on the bench and no recognised striker. You're thinking, what's going on? So just from a Brighton perspective, what was it like?
Well, I thought the Brighton Hove Albion admin made a mistake and released the Newport County lineup for the wrong game. Everyone thought it was like our League Cup lineup. When you see Ali Razor, McAllister and Gross all starting up front, you're thinking, oh, there must be a mistake here. Like we were all saying in the chat, there must be a mistake here. Like what is going on?
It was a shambles.
It was a shambles, and that was kind of the only way you can explain it. What are your thoughts on it, though, Ryan?
Yeah, when I saw it, I thought, first of all, I was like completely shocked. I was like, what on earth is that? But I thought about it logically. I thought, oh, maybe the players have played 2 days ago. Let's try and be positive about it. Try and think about it. We've got it's a decent team. It's not good, and it's definitely not good enough to beat Arsenal. First half, we looked like we did all right, considering the players we had on the pitch, we performed pretty well.
I thought we done all right first half. Yeah,
I don't think we were, we weren't exactly threatening, but at the same time we weren't bad. So I suppose you could say we were okay.
If anything, when we brought on the players that replaced them, though, we actually done worse. Our actual starting lineup done better.
I thought that as well.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, exactly. And in the second half, it was just the same. It's literally the same stuff, isn't it? It's what we've been saying for the last, I don't even know how long. Last week we said exactly the same thing. And I say last week as if it wasn't 2 days ago. But we fell apart in the second half and we just didn't even do anything. I can't really recall many things happening in that second half from us. I
want to talk about
really poor.
Like our only sort of bright light, and I suppose to get you, Joel, get you in here, Joel, is obviously Basuma has been a shining light for us. He's been incredible for us, like a star player by such a far stretch, and he's been linked with clubs like Arsenal. So would you like to see him come in and replace the likes of that pivot of El Neni and Xhaka?
A tough one, innit? You want to keep that pivot going, don't you? But I do like him. If I'm to be really honest with you, I was doing a bit of research on him beforehand, like when there have been talks. Well, it's funny because I've heard his name fly about, and you see him, and I think he's pretty decent. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's with a fit party. I think something like that. He's at good age. He's 24 years old. French connection there, former Lille player. I like him. I can't explain what it is. I like him. I would rather like an Ndidi, or someone like that, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, but
what kind of do you see a lot of similarities between Ndidi and Basuma, or do you see them as different players?
A little bit, but at the same time, a little bit. But I just think Ndidi's like proper class, like really, really good.
And he's got that Prem experience as well, I suppose.
Yeah,
we've got to remember, Ndidi's a lot older. Is he a lot older than him as well? So
yeah, not too much. I don't think he's too much older. I think Basuma's just got a lot more flair about him. Basuma loves doing a few flicks and tricks, whereas I feel like Ndidi's a bit more no nonsense and like a proper CDM.
Yeah, but I think Arsenal, like you said earlier, Joel, I feel like Arsenal need that bit of. Even though you got it in, the likes of Xhaka maybe, but I feel like you still lack and it very much like us, like we're very toothless when it comes to, going forward and having that kind of fight, in our midfield. And I feel like you guys are missing that as well. Like, that's what I felt like the midfield battle wasn't really, usually you see midfielders going at it and like crunching into each other, but I didn't see any of that today, from either side really. And that surprised me. And I suppose that's the kind of players that you want in there.
I would want him. I wouldn't complain. If we were to get someone like, we need him, and I think he's at the right age. I think it's not one of those ones where he should be waiting 2 or 3 years. As mad as it sounds, if he's got the ability, if he knows that there's clubs out there that want him, that will pay the money during the COVID times, he should force a move out of your club.
All right, Joel. So first of all, you're trying to take
I think it's
Lamptey,
gonna
and now you're trying to
happen
take
as
piss. Cheers, Joel.
Yeah, do you want Welbeck
In
back as
summer,
well?
it looks like it's happening, doesn't
Nah,
it?
you can keep that guy. That
All right, let's go on to the. I suppose, yeah. So just to summarise the first half. The first half was, quite even. I think any team would have been both happy to go in with a draw. And then second half, of course, it looked like Arsenal then really started playing a bit. Arteta must have had a couple of words with them. What was the biggest difference you saw, Joel, in that second half that you didn't see in the first?
I think there was more urgency in Arsenal. I think that it wasn't the same urgency that we had against Chelsea, because I think we would just went straight out the gate with that. But I think second half, Saka was more direct. You can see he was giving your left back a whole heap of problems. I just think there was much more urgency, and I think that's what allowed us to really get on top of you. I thought he was our best player, Saka. So as long as he could keep pressing that side, because I know he was switching a little bit with Martinelli. Sometimes you'll see him on the left or whatever, but seeing him on the right, I think he was really giving Burn a problem, man. So yeah.
Well, and it's perfect you say that, because for the goal it was all Saka, absolutely burn. Done it down the wing, and then a great finish ultimately by Lacazette. And what personally for you, between Lacazette and Aubameyang, because he's been rotating the two between them, and I think the commentator said as well during the game, he's like, why does he never play Lacazette with Aubameyang? Do you know any? Do you know why, or would you like to see that?
It's not even just him. Like he doesn't do it that much. Unai Emery didn't do it that much either. Like for some reason they just don't like to play the two. Man, I don't understand. I used to think maybe because they want to bench one of them because you've got more firepower when you've got one of them on the bench. I don't know, but I can't see that as an excuse anymore, man. I don't understand. I really couldn't give you an answer. I want to say something that sounds clever and makes me sound like I do this every day, like a pundit. But I just feel like
it's a great finish.
I'm not even too bothered at the moment, because Martinelli for us he's a star boy. I'm surprised that he's played as much games as he has done since coming back from injury. I feel like in a game like this, I probably would have given him maybe 10 minutes less. But I'm glad that we're resting him. I think he's a really strong boy. To come back and to play as many games as he's played, no one's complaining that he's starting over Lacazette, if I'm honest with you. So it's all good.
Yeah, no, I mean, as long as you're winning, I suppose it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But you had a bit of a poor run. I think what was it, 6-7 games without winning before Chelsea? I think it was. So you could have maybe argued a case there.
It was 8 games. We've lost 8 times in the league this season. That's poor. That's Brighton for. Do you know what I mean?
Oh God, the low blow.
No, we just draw every single game.
We just draw a lot. We draw a lot.
Yeah,
we don't really lose, to be honest.
We've only drawn a few times. We've drawn about 7 times this season. It's mental.
How many games do you guys
We
lost
didn't
this
even look
season?
like getting a draw
7.
today, though, did we?
How many games we lost this season? I don't actually know. I zone out now, Joel. Joel, I'm desensitized.
7 games.
Is it
7 games? Yeah. I'll take that. That's a good result for us.
Shambolic.
No, honestly, no. Do you know what it is, Joel? Do you know what it is, right?
Real quick, because we're having these conversations.
No, at the moment, do you know what it is with us? At the moment, right, what frustrates us is that we're very toothless at the moment, and we don't actually, we play this pretty football, and we get compared to the likes of all these great teams in the league, but we just can't score.
Amazing XG, but we don't score.
Yeah,
can't hit a barn door with a banjo, is the saying we say every single week.
Yeah,
yes.
So it's just very frustrating for us. But yeah, I mean, going back to the game, I mean, second half, apart from that goal again, there's not really much to talk about. I mean, you look at Dan Burn down the left. He had a good game, but I just, like you mentioned, he got absolutely gassed by Saka a few times. And just one to you, Ryan. With that, would you wanted to see him maybe playing a different position, or were you happy with that?
What, you're referring to Dan Burn?
Yeah, Dan Burn. Yeah.
I think what I found funniest about it was we had 3 left backs on the pitch at the end of the game. We had March, we had Bernardo, and we had Burn on the pitch. I see, when I first saw the team, as I say, I was so confused because we had so many defenders on the pitch against an Arsenal side who, let's face it, have a really poor defence. And I thought, this is the perfect game to sort of be running at them and bringing the game to them. So yeah, when I saw that, I thought I don't know, because Burn, we know, against quality opposition isn't very good. We saw that against Leicester when Maddison had him for breakfast, and and I saw him in that team, and I thought, to be honest, he didn't particularly play great. I've got to be honest. He got done, especially in that second half, quite a lot, and that's I think why we brought March on to protect him a bit. I don't understand what Bernardo was on the pitch for. I don't get what he was actually doing.
Just to beat Bellerin's headers, wasn't it? That was literally it.
I think that's a bit harsh, to be honest. I thought Bernardo was all right, you know. I thought he was okay.
I'm not saying he was bad. I'm just saying I don't know what his role actually was. Like, what was he doing?
It's literally just to win headers, I'm pretty sure, against Bellerin.
He weren't doing much. Sorry, but you should be finishing guys like Bellerin. Do you know what I mean? Like, he weren't giving Bellerin any problems. So what was he doing? That's a weakness.
I agree, Joe.
You're supposed to exploit that.
Joel's back in
I'm
line.
with you. Totally with you.
Yeah,
I don't get what he was actually there for.
Dan Burn infuriates me. Like, we're looking at the second half, we're looking for a goal, and we're passing it out to the left hand side, left wing.
Yeah.
And Dan Burn's that player we're giving the ball to.
Yeah.
He's the guy that we're giving. That should be the creative left winger. That should be a Solly March, Trossard.
Yeah.
But instead, we're relying on Dan Burn to dribble through players and cross the ball in. Like, where on?
It's a shambles.
And there's Joel Veltman on the other side doing the same. It's like our main attacking outlets are centre halves. Like, what's all that about?
Yeah. Honestly,
it's mad.
It's mad.
It's mad. No, it's mad. And just quickly, Joel, because we know you've got some other commitments and you're quite a busy guy. So we just want to ask you a couple of bits.
Always got a bit of time for you, Maz.
Oh, come on, bro. I love that. No, so obviously, just for people that don't know, and they might be thinking, who the hell is this Joel guy? We're going to give you a little bit of a history lesson. So, Joel, just with regards to, it all started from Cheeky Sport, and you ran that account on Instagram and on social media. Was that the beginning for you, or had you been doing projects before Cheeky Sport?
No, I think Cheeky Sport was the first thing that founded. We started off in YouTube, bantering players, going outside the ground, saying things to players that only people would say. So, if we weren't in lockdown, you probably would have heard me telling Bellerin that he needs to stop modelling. Do you know what I mean? Stepping it up. And things like that would go viral online with Sport Bible, all these different companies, odds. Then I started working with different people in the industry, still doing YouTube, but then moved across a little bit to content creation, presenting, and our Instagram account had just grown to become really good. We're currently banned from our Instagram. Like, they can't really take our Instagram account down.
What, Cheeky Sport?
Yeah, so we're working on getting it back. If not, we're just going to restart a new one because the banner doesn't change, it's within us. So
do you mind asking what happened? Do you know why?
They've said something like they've said it was a copyright issue, but we do original content, so we don't know if it was like some Trump versus Biden joke or something like that. They didn't even say what post.
Yeah,
and it's like unless you don't have like an account manager or someone to fight your corner, it is a little bit tough, and which is a bit unfortunate because we produce really good content and we got a great relationship with our audience. So. Hopefully.
I know how you feel. Losing an account is the worst. Lost 500k followers, mate. Oh god.
Yeah.
How much? Sorry.
I said I've lost, give or take, 500k followers in total of accounts.
Well, listen, boys. What I'm saying is, don't post illegal content. That's all I'm saying, boys.
Stick to OnlyFans, boys. Stick to OnlyFans.
Someone else put on Sky Sports and slap it on Odds Bible.
There's the nibble. I got it. And then going on. Then obviously you do a lot of other stuff outside of Cheeky Sport, of course. Like you mentioned, you recently presented the Football Content Awards, and you do a lot of other stuff, alongside that as well. Is that now? Because I was actually being a bit nosy, and I went on your LinkedIn, and I've seen that you're actually, apparently to this current date, you're also an account excellence specialist. So do you do all this stuff on this side by side?
No. To be honest with you, that LinkedIn, I'm actually launching a new LinkedIn really soon within the next couple of weeks, because that LinkedIn has just been around for like the last 5 years. I started off in the pharmaceutical industry, and more in the I would say analytics side kind of thing, and saw the opportunity when it came to YouTube and content creation. And I'm so glad that we jumped at the opportunity. I used to do it with some friends. Obviously everyone has grown and they do their own thing, etc. And yeah, now we project manage for different companies. So either I'm presenting, creating content, or writing content. Some people don't know that we write it. We run our accounts. I do a lot of interviews with footballers digitally as well. Currently a Nike ambassador, an ambassador for Google as well. So we've been able to carve content that people watch online and they just enjoy it, So
was it like the love of content creation and sport that ultimately made you stop doing what you're doing, as a full-time job, for example?
Yeah, well, crazy. I don't know. When I look back at it now, I just think, wow, it's absolutely crazy. But we were just some young kids, probably your height, Maz. And we just thought, let's just go out there and do the best and we thought, let's just go out there and just, try to do what we love, innit? Create content. Simple.
No, amazing, man. No, well, we're all in the same boat. That's what we do this for. I mean, we wouldn't be sitting here on a Tuesday night in lockdown talking about bloody Brighton Arsenal if we didn't.
I'll be playing Warzone instead.
Yeah. I'll be sitting on COD right now. And then the final thing we wanted to sort of, discuss with you as well was we know that you occasionally go on AFTV as well, Arsenal Fan TV, that, people love, like you said, talking about viral content. I think they're the kings of it. They're always getting some kind of clip, DT, punching his phone, throwing his phone down on the floor, whatever he might be doing on any given day. It always goes viral. So what's it like being involved in, what's it like being with TT and Ty and people like that? Because we only see one side of them. We see this wacky, crazy side. Are they like that in real life, or what's it like?
Yeah, bro, they really are. That's what's nuts about them, yeah. They really are like that all the time, which is scary.
So they're not acting up for the camera.
Ty is not acting up for the camera one bit.
Imagine being that bloke's roommate.
That's worrying.
Imagine living with that bloke.
Yeah, it's a bit worrying.
Really nice guy. He'll be the first to come in and, be like, Joel, how you doing? You're right, blah, 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 blah. But when the football gets to him, that's who you see. Like when he's sitting there saying, maybe you're cheap. You're cheap, you're cheap. You come to our dressing room as if he's a player. Come to our dressing room. That is
He kills me. That honestly. He's too funny, man.
Does he sleep with his Beats headphones on though? Does he sleep with his Beats headphones on?
Mate, he's a walking Arsenal merchandise. That guy, man. Like, he's
do you know the video that kills me with him? Yeah. Do you remember the one where he's walking past it? It looks like he's going into the stadium when he's got his headphones in.
Coming out of the bus.
Yeah. And it's just slow mo. It kills me, that video. That video absolutely kills me.
Every time Sky Sports had it on, I was thinking, it's got to be someone we know. That thought, that would be brilliant. It's got to be.
No, honestly, that's one of the GOAT videos of him, along with the Mope relegation one. No, it's too funny, man.
Week. Oh, man, he thinks he's a player. That's what makes me laugh. But sometimes I feel like he thinks he's a player.
That's why he's like, come to the dressing room. Come to the dressing room.
So what?
See what happened to you. As if he's going to round up the brain.
I can imagine all his mates being exactly like him, and then he's just sitting there with his mates, just chatting breeze about.
He's a great guy. He works hard, because even just to be at all those Arsenal games, to do the stuff he does for AFTV, you need to have a work rate. Yeah. And he has a work rate. He's a great guy. I think the person that can be different when he wants to be is DT. From what I know of him, I'm like an honorary AFTV guest, and I present bits and bobs and stuff like that. But when you think of the AFTV lots, the gang, that's the Troopses, the DTs. I know Troops is with Barstool now, but DT, he is someone else when he wants to be. He can switch it when he wants to be, and I just come in and do my job, bro. Like if I'm hosting a show, I just come in, I do a job, have a bit of a laugh, and that's it, man.
And just finally on AFT, I don't want to go too much about it, but what's Robbie like? Because again, we see this, all the memes you see of him online with his, the big dubs and all that, and it's just like, he's got this persona online.
Come on. Yeah, you know what? He really is the Don. He really is the Don. Very intelligent man. Very intelligent man. The most hardworking man I know, hands down. In the
I think you have to be though, innit? You
I'm
have
like,
to be.
no. That guy is on another level. Like the amount of videos he does per day, operation, you know, the eye for talent, the opportunity he gives, the ruthlessness in business, the understanding of social media and its power. Like, bro, my mum don't know how to use her phone, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just that real. Like,
do you know what
I
his
mean?
background was before Arsenal Fan TV though? Because I don't think anyone's ever like seen him before Arsenal Fan TV. Arsenal Fan TV, was he involved in social media at all, or did he just think,
He was a surveyor. He was a surveyor.
That's actually nuts, you know.
Yeah. So it's. I remember meeting him when he was still doing AFTV and still working as a surveyor. You know, he saw me when I was still working as at Farmer. So to see the growth and evolution and stuff like that, and just you know what I mean. And what I appreciate about him is that he's just someone that I can have a conversation with. You know, he makes himself very approachable to people because, which I think is really good. Like if you're worth it, he'll definitely. When I say worth it, not in a bad way, but he's good at giving people time.
Amazing. No, I mean, it's all fascinating because, it's a fascinating thing because like I said, we just see the memes, we see the viral content, and just to hear sort of like the behind the scenes of it all must be class. Like, just to be in and amongst it must be amazing. But no, honestly, Joel, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
You kicking me off, yeah?
No. I thought you. I know you're a busy man. So I thought I'd give you. But we really enjoyed having you, and I really appreciate your time. And hopefully we can have you on for the return leg. Hopefully.
Hopefully we could have an even better convincing performance against you lot.
See you in the championship, Joe.
We might have a new manager by that point.
Whatever, Ben. Hey, listen, Ryan, Ben, Maz, lots of love. Let's follow each other on IG, all of that stuff. And I hope to see you guys real soon, man.
No, cheers, Joel. Thank you very much.
In a bit, mate.
Peace. Right. Thank you very much for Joel for coming on. Really, really good to sort of find out all about Arsenal and sort of behind the scenes at AFTV. It's always a fascinating
bantered
thing.
by him as we were probably expecting. To be fair.
I mean, he absolutely killed us. To be fair,
relegation rivals, though.
Yeah, relegation rivals. Just a quick one. If you want to follow Joel, his socials are Joel Beya1 on Instagram, and of course Cheeky Sport as well. But I think their Instagram's down, so I don't think you're going to be finding them anytime soon until they get that back up and running. Let's talk about a little bit more about the game itself, because there's a lot to talk about, a lot to digest as Brighton fans. So let's start off with you, Ryan. Then, we talked about the goal. We talked about Dan Burn as well, and a couple of other things. Basuma obviously was brilliant again. But is there any other sort of standout players for you, or is there any other players that you thought that struggled today and sort of maybe contributed to the loss?
I think it's hard to pick out individuals when the whole team just weren't great. Like I'm not saying we were bad, but the second half we were very poor. The first half, for sure, we were all right. But I think it's hard because we've been so back in Potter all this time, but the blame has got to go on him, unfortunately, and I really don't want to do it. But like, I look at that team selection and I just think, what were we realistically expecting? We did well to keep it at 1 with that team. Where was Ben White, Mope, Trossard, Welbeck, Lallana? I think he was actually injured, but just there were so many players that are missing, and it's just I understand the whole fixture congestion and stuff like that, but by the way that Potter said in his first interview before the game, it seemed like it was all relatively tactical. He said it was a factor, of course, but it wasn't like a main thing. So I just think, has he lost the plot looking at that? I don't know. David Propper was good in the first half. I think he fell apart.
I thought Propper was class.
Yeah. I think the only trouble with him was he's a bit not match fit, which is understandable. I think second half definitely his legs went. His legs just went. I think so. It's hard to talk about a minute because I think it's just. It's not looking good for us. And I know it was Arsenal. I know we need a perspective and all that, but at the end of the day, we need 3 points, and I don't know where they're going to come from now. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, on a couple of points that you sort of mentioned, I agree to a certain extent, and I was like you said about the starting lineup, I 100% agree with that one. That you got to look at Potter there because you got to think at least put a recognised striker on. Like you said, I know it's fixture congestion, I know it's we've got a lot of games coming, etc., but you can't go against a poor Arsenal team at home, knowing that we've got a great record against them historically and they're in poor form. You can't go with no strikers. I'm sorry, but I think that definitely the blame is on Potter for that one. But
I think they impressed us. The players that did start.
No, mate, that's what I was just about to say.
No,
the first half, we looked the better team, to be honest with you. I thought we controlled the game. We had a couple of chances. I think it was Ali J had a shot, and we had a couple of I wouldn't say full chances, but half chances. And we look comfortable, but then I just knew it. I say this every time. I don't know what happens in that changing room at half time, but it seems like we're the first half merchants, and then as soon as that second half comes, is it fitness? Is it like I've asked you? I think I asked you last week, Ryan. It's like what happens in that second half? But I just don't. I'm lost for words when it comes to the second half performances. I think it
was as we said last week about the passion and the hunger, the desire as a player to want to win. It just seems for, a team run by someone with emotional intelligence degrees, it's like, where's the passion? Where's the want to win? Where's the willingness? That goes into life as well. You go into everything you do in work and you want to work as hard as you possibly can to get where you want to be. And then you look at these players, it's like, who's really working as hard as they can to get that win today, realistically.
I think Dunk was really good though. I think Dunk impressed me a lot.
Dunk was good.
I feel like I really think he did. I think he
had a few good headers and stuff like that. The classiness and stuff like that is what you mean.
Yeah, good tackle on Saka when they had a chance. I think Dunk was good. Sanchez was good. Obviously, I don't think he could have done a lot with the Lacazette
Sanchez,
that was a great
again,
finish.
though, we've got to talk about his distribution. I'm sorry. His distribution, all the people saying, his distribution is 20 times better than Ryan's. I don't think it is. Don't get me wrong. It's better. It is better. And he's a better keeper and option than Ryan. I will always sort of back that. However, I just don't want, and I've mentioned it on the pod before, and I believe a couple of comments as well sort of agreed with me. I don't think he's a long-term answer. Now, he fills me with confidence in goal, etc. But I just feel like sometimes, he's still his distribution for me lets him down a lot. Was it in the first half? I think it was the first 2 minutes. He passed it to one of the Arsenal players, and I was like, "What are you doing? Come on, you're better. You got to be better."
I feel like he had an instruction to constantly hoof the ball up to Bernardo, though. He didn't really have. I think that was apparently an instruction he had, which is why he kept, which kind of worked. He did beat Bellerin in the air a lot, and we were trying to win those second balls a lot. But I think it was a great save against Aubameyang in the second half.
Granted, second half that was a great save from Aubameyang. But just going back to your point, Ryan, about match fitness. I know you mentioned it with Proper. That was one thing I was going to sort of bring out because we made those 6 changes. For example, I thought Bernardo actually played all right today. I actually thought he had a good game, but his fitness let him down because he wasn't match fit. So come 60th, 70th minute. He literally couldn't do anything after that. And then same with Proper, his legs went. And then I just felt like all those players that he'd put in from the beginning, those 6 changes, whatever it might have been, they just weren't match fit to last at least 60, 70 minutes, which you're gonna then have, you can't replace all 6. You're gonna have 3 that are gonna be on the pitch left leggy. So you're just not gonna have that kind of thing going forward towards the end of the game. And that's what kind of frustrated me a little bit with Potter's selection. And I suppose that was my biggest gripe with Potter today was, his team selection and not starting a striker up front. I think it's just not.
It's obviously really easy to say it after it's happened, but it does make sense. If we brought Trossard, Mopé and March on, and they were playing in the first half, and they were in those positions where we were getting all those chances, so we could have potentially converted one. And then maybe you would bring on the players that we brought off in the second half, brought them on.
Definitely.
But then the game could be in a different place, and we could be saying, "Why are we bringing off Mopé in that?"
No, but
moment,
very true. He can't really win.
Do you start them or do you not?
Yeah.
I think a point that you sort of said that I was thinking. I thought there was multiple players out of position today. Obviously, you had Bernardo, March. March was sort of playing right wing at most points. I think Veltman playing as a right wing back doesn't work really as well as he does at centre half.
Well, no, but
Burn.
see, See, okay. Quickly. Sorry to interrupt you, Ryan. Just one quick question on that, because this is actually what I was actually going to bring this up. So, would you rather have Veltman at right wing back or Ben White at right wing back?
Is there a neither option?
How's that?
No. But like,
Men.
No. Let's say okay. So last week, I was actually looking back at the West Ham game, yeah, and I was thinking, why did we not play Veltman at right wing back instead of Ben White?
Yeah, true.
I'd say Veltman got in the good positions a lot more, and he got himself in the great positions to be able to whip the ball in. But obviously, he doesn't have the ability to whip a good ball in.
No, and that's the problem with Dan Burn as well.
That's the problem with Dan Burn.
He bombs on, he gets into a decent position, then he fucking shanks his cross out.
In fairness to both of them, they've both been centre halves all their lives.
Yeah, no, agreed.
Like, do you know what I mean? So to answer your question, I don't know, and that's what I mean with the out of position thing and the players that are picked in the positions that they were. We're not using our players to their strengths. We're not playing them as much as we like to think we are as fans. We look at it. We're not using these players to what they can do and what they should be doing. That goes for basically all the team today. Yeah.
But then a second question then to you is that then down to our squad depth? Because then you could argue, because obviously Lamptey's been out for 3 or 4 weeks now. You then have to look at our right wing back options then in terms of squad depth.
I mentioned this last week, didn't I?
Yeah. So we clearly don't have the depth that we so badly need. Because obviously Veltman, he brought him in, didn't he, thinking he can cover right wing, well, sort of right back, centre half. But like we've just said, can he do a job at right back? Not really.
But then that's where you've then got to ask the question. Play the players to what they can do to their ability. Play to their strengths rather than using them in a weaker position. It's like having a clinical goal scorer and then sending them out wide like so many people do. I remember when we first signed Sam Baldock and Hippier insisted on playing him on the left wing, and it was clear to see it wasn't working. He's a goal scorer, and I remember this conversation over and over again. Why are we playing all these players out of position? And now we're saying the same conversations. And as I don't want to be on Potter's back here, but today it just seemed like he got everything wrong, really. I think all of the players setting up with multiple defenders going into that game. I think we had 6-7 defenders on the pitch at the beginning of the game. Towards the end, probably even more than that, because March is technically a defender this season. So, you look at that as a thing, you think, how can you possibly rely on centre halves to be creating chances for you? And yet they are, which is funny. But the point is, we shouldn't be doing that. We should be playing our players to their strengths and what they can do.
Even up top, we had like Alexis McAllister playing false 9 for 10 minutes. Then Jahanbash would go striker, and then McAllister would go right wing. There's no consistency. Like there was no way they were ever going to get any form.
And neither of them are recognised strikers. So it's like
exactly.
It's just like what's the point?
I think an Iranian said to me before the game, he said, I've watched Ali before he came, and he said he's never been a good striker. So putting him up there on his own, it's just stupid. Yeah. And it didn't work. And
this is why I feel
put him on the right, and that.
Yeah, and this is why I feel bad for a few of the players. So, we look at, let's say, Ali J, McAllister, Bernardo, Dan Burn, these players, Veltman even, it's actually a bit unfair that we criticise them so badly, because you've got to think as well, they're probably pissed off, like, they're not in their right position. So they can't show their true potential when they're playing completely out of position. So, as much as we've always been sort of Potter in, and, we've backed him all the time. But I think it's fair for us to criticise him when he does do these kind of things, because, I think we recognise that he's not perfect. He's got his flaws. But, today, for example, he got it wrong. And we can all admit that and see that he did get it wrong. However, I feel like he's still... I've still got faith in him. I don't know what it is, but even though he fucked up today, and you could argue he fucked up along the line of the season, I still don't know what it is about him, but I still got faith in him, and I still back him. But I don't know. Call me crazy. Who knows?
I think as I say, I've always backed him, but now I'm getting a bit concerned. I've got to be honest. I didn't have this much concern before, but after that, watching that, whatever that second half was, I'm a bit like. I'm losing it a bit, and I don't want to lose it, but I'm thinking, if we're going to play all these players out of position, we're going to be, playing a complete second team. It's a bit worrying. You know,
Yeah.
it's a
Well,
bit
but
worrying.
when you say losing it, what do you mean by that? Do you mean as in like you want to see him go, or you want to see change? Like what do you mean by
I
that?
don't. The thing is that it's letting him go. Then who do you bring in? You know, it's
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
It's not a simple solution. I'm not that. I'm not silly enough to think that there's that perfect manager out there that's going to come in and make the players better. But I'm just saying, I'm starting to lose a bit of faith probably in the ideas behind some of the decisions. Like
Yeah.
as I say, the decisions made today, and this goes for quite a few weeks. We've played players in the most strange positions that they wouldn't even imagine. And like Maz and Ben, it'd be like me and you playing Maz in centre half. It's never going to work. So it's like that. If you're I remember when I was a little kid, and this is on a different level, I used to play up front or on the wing. And then I remember for one game, my manager put me in left back, and I didn't have a clue what to do because I'd never been trained there in my life. So imagine that on the Premier League scale with these players that, if you're playing there, it is easy to get lost. And I think that's what's my biggest concern at the moment.
Yeah, we haven't got the players to play his system at the moment. So like you're forcing a system and a style of football when we don't have the players to be able to do it. So you with the formation and the way we play, you want the wing backs to be fast, you want them to be agile, and to be able to get great balls in the box. But we're playing two centre backs in those positions. Yeah. So does Graham have to sit back and go, right, let me try and make a formation that fits the players that I've got right now and actually play a team and players in the right position? Or do I just keep throwing shit at the wall and hoping eventually it's going to stick by playing Dan Burn left wing back? And then bringing in Solly March and him playing attacking mid, right wing.
I think it then stems back. It stems back to that core sort of reason of we just don't have the squad depth. Clearly, like I thought we did. I thought going into the season, I was like, right, we are covered everywhere. We've got players in this position, and you could argue probably midfield we're pretty much sorted. And then you could argue striker, up top and wing backs. We're not really sort of we don't have many options because think about it. March gets injured now, mate. We're missing March and Lamptey, and we're gonna have to play Bernardo and Veltman or Ben White at right back. So I feel like those areas we have to sign someone because Lamptey. What about if he gets sold or if he gets injured? Who are we going to play right wing back?
If he does go to Arsenal, then what?
Yeah, and I just feel like those fullback positions, we need to buy some cover, and up top, that for me, that on the Christmas wish list or New Year's wish list, whatever it might be, I feel like those are the three positions that we need definitely going in for. But whether we get it, I very much doubt it.
I mean, let's look at the stats. So Brighton, this is according to Sky Sports, have gone 12 Premier League games at the Amex Stadium without a win. That's drawing 5, 7 losses, equaling their longest home winless run, set all the way back in the old Division 3 between October 1997 and February 1998.
That's actually mad.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's actually nuts.
So, 1997-98. I wasn't even born.
I think we were playing. Was it League 2 football back then?
Division 3, so yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, no, that's actually
not very good, is it?
And that's not good enough. Yeah, I mean, and let's be frank. Like we said, we've always backed Potter. We've always backed him. We've always said, and we've stuck by him. But no, that is quite a damning, a damning stat, really. Like you can't go that long without winning at home. I mean, we've had loads of chances to do it, and it's just obviously for whatever reason. We just haven't been ruthless enough, and it does go down to the players as well. You can't just always blame Graham Potter, can we? We've got to take, the players got to take responsibility as well for not taking their chances, and sometimes creating the chances. That sometimes we've been guilty of that as well. So yeah,
even though we lost to Arsenal today, and it's mad that we and I can understand. I know why I'm disappointed because we've lost, of course, and it's mad to think that we should have beaten Arsenal, but realistically on paper we shouldn't. We know Arsenal are a much bigger club. But for some reason, even though we got the defeat against Arsenal, so many more people are going to be Potter out, I feel like a lot more people are going to be saying that this was Potter's mistake, when realistically, we shouldn't have gone into the game expecting to win. Like, a draw would have been cool. But I think this is kind of a message to the fans. I don't know, I feel like you've got to cut them some slack and realise that we were playing Arsenal that just beat Chelsea 3-0.
Exactly. They went into the game off the back of a really good win against Chelsea. We went in off a very disappointing draw against West Ham, where we ultimately should have probably won that game. So no, I mean, I said it to one of the boys earlier. Like, obviously, you guys saw my reaction to the West Ham equaliser last week, where I was quite passionate, angry, etc. When they scored today, genuinely, I just sat there and was like, all right, they scored. Like, I knew going into the game. I didn't have high expectations. I didn't have high hopes, and maybe that's bad. I don't know. But I
think the way that I measure it is how we performed last year. So I'll look at how we did against these teams last season. So obviously we got the results against Liverpool, against Villa, but we beat Arsenal last time. So I would look at it as like, okay, we got 3 points there last year, so you'd want 3 points again to sort of equal that, if you know what I mean. I know it happens in swings and roundabouts and all that, but yeah, I think.
But this is the thing though. Also, you got to remember as well. Like, I'm just trying to be positive here. You got to remember we drew against arguably one of the best ever Premier League sides in Liverpool this season. Like that's a big. I know they've drawn against West Brom, so maybe it's not as a great stat as maybe as it seemed before.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
but like we've got these performances in us. It's just we're not consistently. Well, we're not converting these draws into wins. That's simple.
That's the trouble. We had West Brom, Burnley, Fulham,
all draws,
Sheffield United.
Yeah, all
Palace.
All the bottom four. Yeah,
all of those teams. You're thinking you got to be getting a win there.
No,
which then, to be fair, which makes these Arsenal games the ones that we need the 3 points because we didn't get them against the smaller clubs, if you like. So
and now may I say the games we've got coming up, I think they obviously touched on them during the broadcast on Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
which just love talking about Arsenal the whole time, but that's a
sorry. Now you brought that up, Ben. That does my absolute head in. It actually infuriates me, mate. They spent. So I was watching it from what I think it was 5:40, whatever it was. Or no, sorry, 5:20. I think it was 5:30. Honestly, for 25 minutes, 20 minutes, they were talking about Arsenal. I was like, we do exist. Do you know what I mean? We I just thought it was absolutely ridiculous.
They spoke about Basuma.
The whole game, all they did was talk about him.
Even half time, they were talking about how Saka and Arsenal, and I was just like, mate, we dominated that first half. Why are you not talking about Brighton? Sorry, I just had to get it off my chest because it proper infuriated.
Yeah, just before you go on, and they're talking about Arsenal as if they're still like the Arsenal of 2003, saying, they've got terrific youngsters, they're unbelievable. It's like, they're literally 15th. Or like
It just it pisses me off so much.
Anyway, go on, Ben.
So Saturday, 2nd January, we've got Wolverhampton Wanderers. I'll skip the FA Cup one because obviously that's an easy game. Then we've got Manchester City away.
Don't say that.
Then we've got Leeds away. And then we've got Fulham at home, which is huge. Then we've got Spurs at home. Then we've got Liverpool away. And then we're back to Burnley and then playing Villa and Palace. But we've got some pretty tough games coming up.
I mean, I'm looking at that fixture list. Yeah, I'm looking at that fixture list, and I'm thinking, apart from maybe Fulham and Burnley, I'm not looking very confident, to be honest with you, because Leeds are on flames. They beat West Brom 5-0 today. Man City are Man City. Wolves. It depends which Wolves turns up. That should be them winning. Tottenham again depends which one turns up. And Liverpool, as we all know, incredible.
I think we've got to hope for another football break for COVID. Because obviously we've seen 18 more players have picked up coronavirus, which is the most since they've been doing these tests. And is actually looking likely that they might have to cancel football during lockdown, which is
a bit dodgy, isn't it?
It's going to be bad for a lot of fans because it's what a lot of people rely on for entertainment. But for the club, it might do us a favour having a break.
Yeah, do you remember last lockdown? Wasn't that when we came back and we beat Arsenal? Wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was the first game back. So and we stayed up.
Come back from Barcelona.
Yeah, we ended up staying up, didn't we? As a result.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fingers crossed that we get the 2-week lockdown.
We need a break. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty
You can see our faces at this point. We're done.
Done. But let's play into the conversations of what people are saying about managers or these Potter out people. So people are talking about Eddie Howe potentially. Would he do a much better job than Potter? What do you two think?
The only thing that he'd give us is passion. Like, that's about it. But whether he'd have that passion for us, like he did at Bournemouth, probably not.
Similar character.
To be fair, the one I'd like to throw in, true. The one I'd like to throw in would be Rafa. If we would, I know it's so unrealistic, but he went to Newcastle, so you never know. Rafa Benitez would be money. Yeah, he'd be class. Yeah,
I can't think of any other people we could get.
To answer your question,
there's
Ben,
no one.
Eddie Howe, definitely not. Like absolutely not. He just wouldn't. What difference would he actually make? In my opinion, he'd be no different to Potter.
Nathan Jones.
But again, it's like we're going down that Frank Lampard / that Frank Lampard.
Bit of a-
Well, yeah, he's nowhere near as same as a club
I'm just going for
legend.
passion
Let's be
merchants,
frank.
mate.
But yeah, another sort of passion merchant. Is he really that good? I'll be honest with you. I just don't see any other option right now but to stick with Potter because there's no one
doing
else
well,
out there
Luton.
that's realistic, like who's actually going to come to us and is going to be good enough for us. I don't think personally.
No.
So yeah, that's basically my stance on it.
Yeah,
I just
no,
think
that's
we need
fair.
to just
Just-
stick with him. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I can't see us signing anyone better. To be fair,
Yeah.
whether then you class, how do you class better? Do you class better as play better football, or do you class it as getting results?
Get results.
Because there's
Getting
managers
Tony
out there.
Pulis in.
Because there's managers out there
Tony
that will
Pulis
just
got
get
sacked,
us results
didn't
and
he?
they'll keep us up. With the current team we've got, because let's face it, bar attackers, we've got a very good team on paper. We've got a considerably better team than we had under Houghton, being White, Bissouma, Lamptey, March nowadays, Dunk, Webster, all good players. You look at that, we have got the quality. We can't say we don't. So
That's
But
the
then-
issue.
But then my other argument is as well. What I think we forget as well is, like, don't get me wrong, we've improved and like you said, we've made really good signings and we have got a great squad. But then you've also got to remember, all these other clubs are improving in signing players as well. So I personally think as well that levels are just increasing every year, and it's a case of us just keeping up with those levels.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh great, we've signed X, Y, and Z, but are they going to keep us up to that Premier League standard of what we need? So yeah, I think that's one thing people do forget as well. Is like all these other clubs improved so much and they signed loads of players. And just look at Leeds, for example. They signed 5 players who like incredible. Rodrigo, Rafinha, Koch, Llorente. All these are not world class, but very very good players. They signed them, and you forget they came from the Championship last season and they're absolutely flying at the moment. So you got to remember that now. Money talks and these clubs are. So I think again, it's just all about perspective and just remembering sort of.
But then
who we
look
are.
Look at our signings compared to the teams that were around us last season. So obviously Villa had a big cash injection. They've spent a lot of it. So we brought in Lallana. Tell me if I'm forgetting any. Lallana, Welbeck, Veltman. Ben White's obviously come back from loan. Anyone else that just jumped in the team that I've missed stupidly? So no, they're not exactly players that are going to take us to the next level. And I feel like we have been left behind in that sense. But all the teams around us have improved. Well, Burnley probably the one team that I'd say haven't, because their summer signing was Dale Stephens, which is shocking.
Their marquee signing was Dale
their marquee signing was Dale Stephens, and that is a joke. So at least we're not the worst in that respect, but we haven't kept up with the other
they
teams.
keep themselves up with the results, as I said.
Okay, but
Sean
the
Dyche
other teams around
does
us
it.
have improved though, and
Yeah, they have,
maybe this
100%.
could be another reason why we haven't.
Yeah,
What we're doing
no,
something.
I
Yeah,
agree,
that's the
100%.
worry.
I think that's a big point. We might think, oh yeah, great, we signed Lallana, we're all buzzing, but then he plays about 20 minutes a game. So what?
But we said, I think I was saying it. I think if you get my tweets up from that summer window, I was saying I can just see us getting left behind, because I was looking at. I think Villa was the one in particular that blew me away. When I was seeing Villa making the signings they were making, I was just like, yeah. And now you look at them now, and they are absolutely levels above what they were last season, and that's progress, right? We are worse off than last season. And I look at, and yes, you can say the signings as well. We look at that attack strike force we've got in Mope, Connolly, Welbeck, Zakiri. I don't even class as our player at this point. So, how many goals are you getting out of Connolly a season at the moment? 5 at a push, a very big push.
Two.
Mope, you'd be lucky to get 10 this season again.
He's on
and
5
Welbeck,
already, after obviously a good start, but
hopefully if he gets his
get 10
confidence again, then I can see him getting it. But then you look at Welbeck, he's never hit above 9 in his whole career in one season. So, we don't have those goal scorers in there. So, I think
like
it was clear to see
football-
back in that summer window.
The good football has been like a blanket over our eyes, I think, of what is actually going on. Like, we play good football, but we're slowly dropping down the table. And obviously now the fans are starting to realise we are very, very close. And is it true we've never been in the relegation zone in the Premier League?
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Not even for like
This was
August 1st.
2017.
Yeah, since we first came in,
which is crazy. And now it's really looking likely that we are going to be in the relegation zone soon. After the next 6 games or so, we could definitely
I think
be
if
in
Fulham
there.
if Fulham win tomorrow against Spurs, I think that puts us in the relegation. I'm checking out. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
it might
Fulham win
even be a
tomorrow,
point or two.
if Fulham win tomorrow, they'll go a point above us, and we'll go 18th in the
Jeez.
relegation zone. But right, anyway, I feel like we I know we're sort of it's good that we're talking about a lot of stuff, but let's get on to the sort of transfer rumours as well, because it takes on quite nicely. So transfer rumours. So apparently we've been linked with Sam Johnston, the goalkeeper
Sam.
from West Brom, and Divock Origi from Liverpool. Now, Sam Johnston, was it against, who did he play against the other day? He made an
Liverpool.
unbelievable save. Yeah, against Liverpool. He
Yeah,
made an
Firmino.
incredible save. My question to both of you is, well, I know my answer, but to you two, would you want to see him? Would you want to see us sign a goalkeeper?
I don't. Would you?
Yeah, I do, because as good as Sanchez has been, one dip in form or an injury, and then we're stuck with Jason Steele and Christian Walton. Johnston has proved that he's a good goalkeeper. I think he was good in the Championship as well, so I wouldn't mind us getting him, but it's not a necessity by any means.
You know what the mad thing is, though? Like the fact that even though this rumour or this link, I think there's a few clubs are maybe looking at him apparently, but the fact that he's West Brom's key player, like if they haven't got him in goal, then they'll be in big trouble.
Yeah,
so why as West Brom would you sell your best keeper in January?
This is what I don't understand. I think it's a bit of bullshit, to be honest.
Yeah.
I can't.
So
I can't see West Brom letting.
And if it was true, then it would be for a ridiculous amount of money, because then they're going to have to try and find a new keeper to replace him in January in a relegation scrap. So
no, 100%. I think that's a bit.
Unless they've just accepted going down like Norwich did.
Yeah, maybe
That's what they could be doing.
Maybe, yeah.
Norwich did it. They just thought we're going down. We're just going to.
That would be insanity, though. I think that'd be insanity.
It would be crazy. West Brom fans would be livid.
Oh mate,
another one,
after they got sacked their gaffer and they do that as well, then they're just I think they're going to meltdown. I think.
They'll be
I'll
right
tell you
outside
another
the
one.
It's not your Turkish goalkeeper, is it, Ryan?
No. I'm talking about strikers.
You as agent.
Yeah. No, talking about strikers now. So Max Watters, the Crawley Town striker that was put in the group chat. So I know, Maz, you weren't too much of a fan of it. But I did a bit of research on it.
Go on.
And I dived into the world of Max Watters, and I wanted to find out a little bit about him. So I spoke to my mate who works at Crawley, and I just asked him, Max Watters, tell me a bit about him, mate. And he said that he was at this non-league. I think he was in the sixth. Yeah, no, he's in the sixth division, and they weren't sure whether they wanted to keep him or something. And he scored against Crawley, so they signed him up after the game. And he come in as a fourth choice striker, and then they played him, and I think he's got the best conversion rate in England this season. Now, okay, it's only in the League Two, but he's only 21, and he said it might sound crazy to you. He said, but it reminds me so much of Erling Haaland. He said the way he just runs, he's so tall, he's fast. He said he runs in behind, and he said he scores 90% of the time.
I'm sold.
I think he scored once in every. He's got a goal every 79 minutes, and he literally just runs through. He's 1-on-1, and he'll score. That's it. And he'll just do it again, and he'll do it again, and he'll get a hat trick, and he'll do it again. And it's like, do you know what? I think about it. You look at Watkins. You look at Vardy, you look at White, all these players, at 21 years old, Steven Alzate as well, they were playing in that sort of League 2, League 1 sort of area. So you think, well, you never know. If you can score goals, look at Glenn Murray. He can score goals in League 2, and he can also score goals in the Premier League. So I think, if you can score goals, you can score goals.
Realistically,
we need someone.
Crawley Town just signed Mark Wright, so now we're interested in someone that, like Mark Wright from The Only Way is Essex, and if anyone hasn't seen. So we're being linked with a striker who Mark Wright plays for, which that just baffles me. Like that's the standard we're looking at for hope for our season, saving us in the Premier League.
Well, just going back to Max Watters and just to sort of play devil's advocate. So look, 100%. All sounds great. It sounds amazing. I'm not contesting. He might be an incredible striker, and I've just looked at his stats here. Yeah, I think he's got, like you said, 13 goals in 15 games, which is incredible. And I'm sure he will be a great striker. However, my big thing is he the answer right now? Is he going to come in, hit the ground running in the Premier League? Let's be real. not
No,
9 times out of
that's
10.
that's not
You
what
know,
I'm saying, Baz. I'm just
No, no,
saying
no.
he scored a lot of goals for Crawley.
No, no, but you're saying signing this season though. You're saying him sign him now. Well,
Yeah,
what's he
sign
gonna...
him this season. No, I don't know. I don't know what we need, mate. I'm so
No,
lost.
but this is what I'm saying though. This is what I'm saying. It's great. It's great. We're signing. I'm all for signing young players that are hungry, are good, and are going to develop into great players. I'm not. I'm all for it. I'm just saying. I feel like he's not the answer now. Like he's not. He's not what we need now. We need someone who's played at least Premier League standard or Championship for me personally, and above. Just because I feel like it's such a big step. Like, imagine him going from Crawley Town to playing at playing at Old Trafford or playing at these big stadiums. That's my only thing.
Jump.
Exactly. And and I'm all for it. Like I said, hopefully we sign him and we put him in the under 23s and get him developed. It'd be great signing. But yeah, I just feel like right now we do need like a Divock Origi or I know it'll never happen, but like a Giroud or even some people have talked about Diego Costa. We've had quite a few messages on socials saying that Diego Costa's obviously he got. So for anyone who wasn't aware, Diego Costa's actually had his contract mutually terminated today by Atletico, so he's actually a free agent now. Now, me personally, I mean, we got 0.0 chance of ever signing Diego Costa, simply just for wages and
Imagine that'd be unreal.
But mate, inject it into my veins. If we got Diego Costa, just inject it all into my veins. Imagine him and Mope up front.
We
It'll just
need
be
that.
just shithouse
We
FC.
need that leader. We do need that leader, and he would be perfect.
We go on
It's
about
ridiculous saying it.
literally. We go on about the like passionate stuff. Someone to be arrogant. Mate, Diego Costa is your guy. He'll fight anyone and anything. So
literally.
Yeah, and he scores goals as well.
Get him on a 6-month loan. He will keep us up. That would be unreal.
Mate,
A 6-month loan, yeah.
I mean,
he can't be on loan.
Well, he can't be on loan. He's a free agent.
He's a free agent.
Oh, what? He's actually been released. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
mutual termination. Apparently.
Jeez.
I mean, I don't know. I don't.
£120,000 a week.
I don't know how mutual it would have been though. It was probably just him going, Diego, can you leave now?
Scrapping,
And him saying no, and they're like, no, Diego,
Apparently
can you
asked
just get
for
out?
it.
Really?
Apparently he pushed it, yeah, because he wasn't getting game time. Apparently he just... I can imagine the situation. He's just like, just get me out of this club. I'll go somewhere else.
He'll be playing in China. He'll be playing in China in a few weeks.
His wages just his wages will be way too much. But however, you talk about China, I think they're actually now bringing a salary cap in. So I don't know how.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know how long that will be going on for. But yeah, mate. Yeah, I'm just looking at stats this season.
As well.
He's only played 7 times this season, 2 goals in his 7 games. So I mean, he's not. He's been injured, admittedly, a lot of the time. But no, I mean, if we sign Diego Costa, I mean, I think we might as well just stop the podcast and call it a day. And
rename the podcast to the Costa podcast.
Yeah, rename. Yeah. Rename. All right. Let's. Okay. That's going to be our thing.
It'll cost a lot.
Yeah, if Diego Costa signs for Brighton, we're going to rename our channel from Seagulls Social to Diego Costa. FC. That's what we're name it to.
It's really gone this downhill. It's falling.
Clutching at Diego Costa straws.
Yeah. But no.
I got it. That took too long to get, Ben.
I didn't even realise I'd done that, but I've just realised what I just done. Costa straws, nice one. Yeah, I'll take that.
The fact that you didn't really get it, that's quite worrying.
No, I didn't get your
own joke.
Yeah, I'm just playing it down. Obviously, I didn't know what I was saying. Come on, guys.
But just quickly before we go on to the preview of Wolves, I'm just going to go through a couple of suggestions from our comments last week that we got. So yeah, we always read all our comments. We really appreciate. We got a lot of comments last week. So one was a guy called Paul Anuchu, I believe I'm saying that right. He's from Genk and he scored 15 in 17 for Trossard's old club, and he's 6'7", and that was sent in by Lorien Bowler. Does that
6'7".
Yeah,
playing at left wing back.
Would we want to see him and Dan Burn on each wing? Would we want to see that? I mean, he sounds great. 6'7", scored 15 goals.
I'm just going to say yeah to every suggestion.
Yeah. Anyone who said anything, yes, we'll take him. We'll take him. Edouard, Odsonne Edouard, he would be the dream. That would be incredible.
Not going to happen though. Not going to happen.
Yeah, that was from Fianton
But I
Hill.
feel like that guy from Genk you mentioned, 6'7", I feel like that would be really great. That would be the type of player the amount of crosses we put in to Neil Maupay, like the tiny little bloke he is.
Imagine that, it would be like a Peter Crouch, him and Maupay.
Yeah, we actually have someone on the end of the ball.
His name is Paul Onuachu, Onuachu.
ONU.
I
found him.
Yeah.
I found him.
Paul Onuachu.
I'm going to Google him.
Yeah, give me a little Google. Yeah, so Odson Edouard, I would love that. That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
Another one was Toke Ekambi, plays for Leon. I can't say I know much.
Oh,
of him.
Toko Akambi, yeah, we were after him back in like 2016, I think.
Okay.
Really?
I'm not
Because I remember doing a little thing about. Was it Toko? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure we were after him at one point.
Kalicha Niacho. I mean, he missed the penalty.
No,
no. The other day, which not the best.
No, I don't. Yeah, no, I
God.
wouldn't take him.
And then Divock Origi as well, which
It's so hard to judge that Divock one because he hasn't really played much. He comes off the bench for 10 minutes. It's hard to judge what his level is now. We can judge what he used to be like when he was playing week in, week out for the clubs before, but it's hard to judge what his level of ability is at Liverpool right now because he never plays.
Yeah,
So,
it's a bit like Danny Ings as well when he left Liverpool.
Yeah, you didn't really know what you were
everyone thought
going
he
to
was a
get.
bit finished, and then all of a sudden he just turned into a monster at Southampton.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be too disappointed with Divock because he's a great finisher.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what we need. We just need someone who can just finish. That is literally.
That's what I'm looking at. This Onuachu now. Onuachu.
Yeah.
He's only 6.3 million on Transfermarkt. And,
there you go. Get
26, Nigerian. Yeah, he actually looks unreal. I'm looking at his stats. He looks unbelievable. But that is in the Belgian league, so we can't.
Yeah,
Trossard was
Trossard looked amazing. Yeah, and then now look at him. He's bloody just walking around the pitch, the little prick. But yeah, what can you do? But all right. So then, final thing. Then let's talk about Wolves. So the next game against Wolves. I mean, they've themselves have actually been quite inconsistent this season. Now, one game they're beating the likes of Chelsea, and in the next game, I think they lost against Villa the other day. Yeah, lost to Villa the other day. So they're very inconsistent this season, but they've got some incredible players. I tell you what, that Daniel Podence and Neto. Oh. I mean, if you put them in a cage, football, put them in a cage, you will be absolutely twist up. They'll leave you on the floor every single time. They're absolute ballers.
Podence nutmegged Højbjerg against Spurs, and then he was like, "Oh, I'll just go for another one." Nutmegged him again. Podence reminds me of Eden Hazard. Like if you watch them play, they're both similar builds. They are class. And Pedro Neto.
That's a great shout.
I tweeted it and no one liked it, so I think everyone that follows me. I tweeted he is going to be unbelievable, and he is on track to be class. I think he'll be playing at top club.
My one big thing though with Wolves is I personally think they're in a very similar predicament now with us as us in the sense that they are missing that integral striker up front because Fabio Silva, I know they signed him for 30 million. He's 18.
Football Manager
he's
wonder
19.
kid.
Yeah, he's a wonder kid. He's a wonder kid. However, he's last game against Villa, he was shocking, and obviously he's no Raul Jimenez. So
had a few chances against Spurs as well.
And I think that can be a big thing for us. Is they're going to be missing that integral striker up top. So we can hopefully we can punish them
for Nuno's head.
Really?
I was pretty shocked by that. Yeah, I saw because I follow quite a few Wolves fans. I didn't even realise, and I remember after their game. And they were saying, "Oh, Nuno out, it's too." But then some were saying, "Oh, it's too early to sack him." But I was quite surprised because I remember their fans just loved him, and now I guess that shows their mentality as well. Like they come up to the Premier League and then they got 7th, and they know that they want to be in that sort of top 8. So rightfully so. To be fair.
No, definitely. I mean, it's going to be. I'm going to be perfectly frank with you all. I'm not, going to that game with full of confidence by any stretch.
No.
Because on their day, Wolves can dismantle us. That when they really go for it. Exactly. Those attacking players are really good, and defensively, they've got the back three as well. They play similar system to us with 3 at the back. They've got kind of Cody, Bowley, and Size normally,
isn't it?
Oh yeah, size normally I think. Yeah, so I mean defensively they're going to be good, and attacking we all know they've got incredible attacking options. So it's going to be a tough game to be honest with you. I really don't sort of see it going well. But you never know what Wolves will turn up and what Brighton will turn up.
And what Brighton will turn up exactly.
Yeah,
that's more to the point. I don't even know what our team's going to be next week.
New year, new Brighton.
Oh, honestly, what we should do? We should do a Potter bingo and just put loads of names in a hat and just pick it ourselves and see how close we get each week. So we all do one each week and just
That's
see
probably
how
what he
close.
does.
Yeah, he has a hat
Sitting there.
at his gaff, and he just picks them out. Because honestly, sometimes I'm thinking, what is he doing? Honestly,
Just pick it out. Oh, Davey, it's your lucky day, mate. You're in today. Make sure you don't disappoint.
I know. I got a good one for this week. So put down in the comments below, right, what you think what Potter will play, what his predicted lineup will be. Put it in the comments. If you're listening, if you're watching this on YouTube, in the comments, please put your starting lineup for Wolves, what you think it will be. And we'll see
Yakamoto's in for, isn't it?
Oh,
That's
is
a
he?
shout.
Oh yeah, of course,
Yakamoto's for
he'll
Wolves.
be in, wouldn't he? So
January.
because he's on the 2nd of January, yeah. So down in the comments, let us know what you think Potter will play, because I doubt anyone will get it right. So if you do, fair play to you. I'll be very impressed with that. Anything else, boys? Anything you want to last words?
Some positivity. So new year, isn't it? So by the time we do the next episode, we will be in 2021, won't we? So let's hope it is the year for Brighton Hove Albion to win the league title when Percy Tau comes back. Ryan, your tweet, that bang.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a shocking nap.
We go for the title, Judge. It wasn't a nab. We put your name in there. But yeah, I just think positivity. Come on, boys. New year. It's a fresh start for
New year,
everyone.
new
Hopefully
me.
It's a fresh start for Graham.
Didn't we say that last year? And then we had lockdown
probably.
for about 9 months.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, probably. I mean, anyway,
Can't be any worse, surely.
It's all a
Can't
shambles,
get
isn't
any
it?
worse.
It can't be worse. Surely not.
We are literally the footballing equivalent of 2020 at the moment. That's what we are.
I was about to say the only way is up, but the only way is down at the moment because we've got the relegation zone below us. So yeah, unfortunately. If you're Sheffield United, the only way is up.
Yeah, well, let's pray. Fulham
Let's
don't beat.
so.
Fulham don't beat Spurs. Let's just
Surely they can't beat Tottenham, right?
Mate,
Well,
I
Tottenham
would
aren't
not
that
be
good at the
surprised. I would not be surprised.
Surely they can't.
Shocking. Right, chaps, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. And of course, to everyone tuning in and watching on YouTube, we really appreciate your support. Of course, if you are watching on YouTube, please do like, comment, and subscribe. It does mean a lot. And of course, do comment down below your starting lineups for the Wolves game. And then, we shall see you for the Wolves game.
Have a brilliant New Year's Eve.
Yeah, have a brilliant New Year's Eve.
If you possibly can, have a great New Year's.
Have a drink on me.
And we'll see you for the Wolves game in a bit.